Is church hard? You know what? I had no preparation. I didn't realize after yet another child left the church just how hard it would be. And I remember sitting in sacrament meeting, and you would have thought, I honestly questioned for a moment if the ward council had gotten together and decided to figure out how to fix us. And that's how it felt. And of course, that's not what happened because there wasn't enough time for that to happen. But that's how it felt. I had one person that came and they talked so black and white from the pulpit. And then another who it seemed like their lives must have been perfect. And then a high counselor came and he reprimanded us. And he told all of us there that if we would just do the basics better, that our children would never leave. And I've never been so mad. I really wanted to smack him, but I went home instead and I wondered if I ever wanted to come back to church. Well, President Sperry, who happens to be our next podcast guest next Sunday, he gave me a blessing. He's in the stake presidency. And in that blessing, he promised me that that pain that I had when I attended church would be taken from me. And the next Sunday, that came to pass. But what happened is that I stopped thinking about me. In fact, I immediately began to notice the other people in the congregation and maybe what their struggles were. And when that happened, then the pain subsided for me. Betty is the one that is speaking on our podcast this week. And Betty, when her son left the church, it was right before he would have served a mission. And she went to the farewell of his very best friend and she cried through the whole thing. Sometimes church is hard. Head over to the podcast, anchoredpodcast.net, and see how Betty was blessed, how God showed up for her, how he walked through that trial with her and with her son, and ultimately brought miracles upon their families. Anchoredpodcast.net. See you there.